So hello everybody and welcome back to another work video, but maybe not the one you expected. I know I've been doing a lot of work videos on my sort of development of these motion ideas, this fluidity. However, I still am working on it. I have been drawing. This is my, I can't see, this is my big drawing marker paper, because I kind of like making sort of quite bold, I guess almost not comic-like, but you'll see. So I've been drawing up some ideas, and I still am working on my main developments. These are just some of the pictures. But while I was making these pictures, I was thinking about ways I could make the pieces, and I sort of went off on a slight tangent, which is what this video is about today. Well, that only took about, what, a minute to get into the video, but never mind. So while I was thinking about different ways I could attach the aluminium to things and how it could wear and things like that, I came up with ideas to make sort of pendants. And these are what I've drawn up so far. So as you can see, you know, they're not hugely lifelike, but hello, I'm peeking around the corner. Oh, like a little chap. Boop. Anyway, so as you can see, I've drawn roughly 8 different slight designs, either with sort of square bottoms, I don't know what that one is, rounded on the top, square on the top, you know, either leather or oxidized leather, sort of different shapes of leather, with a screw, different shapes again. I'll take a picture or I'll scan all these in. Why have I gone really dark? It's because of this, isn't it? Ready? Oh. Oh. The beauty of cameras and automatic settings that you can't change. Arrgh. Anyway, this is my phone still. Also, I had a haircut the other day, so my hair's a bit weird. Takes days to settle down. But yeah, anyway, off the point, I'm going to take pictures of these and go through them slightly more one by one. So, we'll start with the first one. The first one was a very simple idea. I was thinking literally just having some sort of chain, probably a snake chain, because I don't want an open chain really for this. I don't want to take too much away from the actual piece of jewellery. And so I thought a snake chain's quite a uniform shape all the way around. It's not got lumps and bumps and shines, and so it's quite a simple chain. So that's what I was thinking, to keep all the interest on the actual piece. However, I was thinking with this first one, does the square really go, because I've obviously made the, I've forgotten the word for it, let's say hoop, made the hoop square, and I was thinking contrasting with the fluid nature of the pendant, but I'm not sure it really works. So, and also it was just going to be a plain rivet through, because you can't solder aluminium, so plain rivet, pretty simple. I actually drew the one underneath that next. So what I did there was pretty similar. I drew a slightly different shape of metal, because you never know what kind of shapes may come out of the aluminium when I do it, because some parts go quite weak, you sort of have to go around them, and some parts just aren't interesting, so you don't add them in. So you never really know, so I drew a different shape. But with this one, I tried to imitate a more bobbly chain. Don't really like the more bobbly chain. I say bobbly, I mean more of a traditional chain that has lots of faces and angles to it, rather than a snake, which is basically almost like a tube. So that's what I tried doing with that one. And I also just changed the hoop on the top. I really, bail? Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm terrible at this. Anyway, I changed shape to that just to make it a bit more rounded. I preferred the look of it. I thought it suited the piece a bit better, rather than being such a contrast. Because the other one wasn't really a huge intentional contrast. It was just like, yeah, let's do a square. So I was kind of preferring that one. Then what I thought I'd next do, so the next one along, is similar to the first one, but mixing the second idea in. So drawing the first one with the rounded top to it. And I also was thinking, oh, well, maybe I could use leather or oxidize some silver to give it a bit of black, a bit of color contrast. So because the first two were looking a bit bland to me, all just grey and bland, there wasn't anything going on. So I added that in. I really like that one. I think that bit of color just really makes it pop. but obviously it's not too much to overpower the piece. Again, I was thinking of just a simple rivet, but then I was kind of thinking, well, if it's leather, leather doesn't rivet. So that's what I drew. Then next one underneath that one, where I literally just marked out some holes, and I'd say I'd just sew it on like you sew normal leather, but there'd just be a piece of metal in between. So that's what I tried. I also tried giving the look of either an oxidized chain or maybe a leather strap for the necklace, to give different effects. And I really quite like that as well. On to the next one, I tried thinking maybe of bigger bits of leather, more stylized, more fluid again, but I didn't really like this, so I moved on. So the next one under that was one that I went back to just sewing the leather on idea, except I tried shaping the leather a bit more to fit the shape. And also I went with the sort of silver neck chain idea. But I just didn't like that one quite as much as the first one. So I went back to, so if we go on to the next one, went back to the sort of smaller just hoop design, but I added a little angle on there to try and add some more contrast, and just like a little cross stitch. Even though that's quite interesting, that wasn't as interesting for me as doing the metal, or possibly I just didn't like the way it was a cross like that, or a plus symbol. Maybe it was actually a cross, it might have looked a bit better, but then it wouldn't have followed the shape of the leather at the bottom. So then my very last sketch was just thinking, because I suddenly thought that trying to rivet leather isn't really easy, trying to rivet aluminium can be hard sometimes, just rivets are quite time consuming to do them properly anyway. So I was thinking, well, I wonder if I just use a bolt, because I could potentially just use, say, a brass bolt, put it through, bolt it on, cut off the back, and then hammer the back of the bolt so it rounds over so you can never get that nut undone again. I could also, because it's brass, just solder the bolt onto the back. You would see it. So I like the idea of just hammering the back a little bit to hold it together. And I really quite like that one with the black chain, the black connector, the black hoop, and the piece of aluminium. So those are my ideas so far. I plan to try them out, and I will let you know how they go. So tell me which one you use. So let me know which one you guys preferred. I don't know, name them like 1 to 8 if you have a favourite, or try and describe them if you do. Let me know which ones you were thinking, which ideas you were liking the most. If you have a sort of idea yourself, or what may look good, I could always take it on board, draw it up for you, depending when you comment on this. So yeah, just let me know, and to keep this video fairly short, because I think it's running on for about 7-8 minutes now, I'll leave it there. Hopefully there'll be another one soon when I come to make these, or at least test them out. I may not make them like 100% finished pieces, but I may try and make them like halfway finished so you can see what they're like rather than just drawings, because sometimes it's better to actually, see something in person and touchy-feely. Again, let me know what you think. Remember to subscribe and like, or hate, or no, it's not hate. Subscribe, like, dislike down below. Tell me what you did like, etc., etc. Follow it all in the descriptions, Facebook, Twitter, all that shenanigans. And I shall see you next time. Sparks out. Let me just show you what I've got so far. Some of you more eagle-eyed viewers out there might have noticed that halfway through this video, I ended up with a plaster on my finger. Well, I got attacked by a dog. A really, really vicious dog. His name is Scruffy. And he's the destroyer of worlds. Seriously, I'm okay. He's just got overexcited. Anywho, side note. I'm also watching a video on making jewelry, like you do. YouTube has taken over my life.